Have you ever had one of those days where you think, seriously, why does everything have to land on me? So one mom said this to me in the first 5 minutes of our coaching session. She was exhausted, frustrated, felt like the world was just piling everything on. And then she told me, listen, I'm so tired and frustrated and everybody dumps everything on me. I have to do everything. And then to top it off, my son forgot his PE shorts and I had to bring those to him. I have to bring those to him. Does that sound familiar? The feeling of seriously, one more thing? Listen, here's the thing. When we are in those hot moments, we tell ourselves a story. And this story sounds like, my kid is so disrespectful. They don't appreciate me. I have to do everything for everyone. And that story, it makes us feel really resentful and angry. And honestly, that's what wears us out. What if the story isn't true though? Or what if it is, parts of it are true, but we could rewrite it? And this isn't about just think happy thoughts or try to be more patient or try to understand it from their side of view, their point of view. Today, I'm going to show you that this is a shift in your brain from they're doing this to me to it's not personal. It's not against me. It's just what's in front of me. And trust me, this one shift is going to change the way that you connect with your child and the way that you feel about yourself. It's so important and so valuable. So when this mom came to me, she was drowning in shoulds. He should have remembered his PE shorts. He should, I shouldn't have to do this. My husband should do this. I should be more patient. I shouldn't have reacted that way. All of those shoulds. And this is what I asked her. I said, is it true that you have to bring those shorts? And what happens if you're teaching your child by saying yes right now? And when I first asked those questions, it really went into the shoulds. Like, well, but, I don't want him to, not have his shorts for PE and get a bad mark. And I would be a bad parent if I didn't do this. And, because we're on autopilot, we don't really think about those questions. We just react. And the problem is that her reaction, and we're no different, is that reaction is usually driven by resentment. And so if we think that we're teaching while we're lecturing, while sighing, while rolling our eyes, I just ask you to consider, what is the real lesson that you're actually teaching? And even if you just suck it up and do the thing and try to have a good attitude about it, are we really teaching? And isn't helping them to be responsible our goal, or helping them to problem solve, to help them to own up to it? Instead, we're just teaching either mom is angry or mom is resentful, mom doesn't, is tired of all of this, or we're like, it doesn't matter. Like, mom's my brain, and so I don't really have to think about any of this. And she keeps telling me I should be more responsible and whatever, But that's not really what we want to pass on. That's not really what we're doing here. I want to talk a little bit about why it feels so personal, because, you might be thinking like everyone dumps everything on me and your stress response is real and alive. And but I just want to tell you that your brain is actually in survival mode in those moments. And when that survival brain takes over, it makes everything feel really personal. Your kid forgot their shorts, your brain says, they did this to me. Your teen rolls their eyes, your brain says, they don't respect me. Your husband doesn't, do the thing that you asked him to do, or he didn't take care of it before you had to ask him, and you think that he's ignoring you or he doesn't care. And you may walk around thinking that a lot of people don't care, like nobody cares about how I feel about it. And this can go on even with your adult children. They're living their lives, they're doing things, and we take it so personally sometimes that they're doing it against us, as they're, they did this just to spite me, or even though I brought them up this other way. And the truth is, it's not about you. It's about them. It's about their forgetfulness, their stress, their developmental stage. And I think that it's a really good mantra to tell yourself that it's not against you. It's just in front of you. It's not them plotting ways to ruin your day. They're just being human. And if you have kids that have challenges, that is, they're in their own world. They don't have the forethought or the hindsight to deal with this in the way that you are dealing with it. And they're just being human, imperfect, right in front of you. And it's not always fun. And it's, even when we understand it, it can still be frustrating. So that's why we have to make a shift, because that's the only thing we control. Sometimes even when we're doing what looks like the nice thing, like, well, I'm going to take those shorts to him because I don't want him to think I don't care, or that I'm a bad mom, or have him get in trouble, all those things. We are still trying to control the outcome for him. Is it okay if he's disappointed? Is it okay if he gets a bad mark because he forgot something? Is it okay that somebody's upset with you because you didn't remind them? We have to learn to be okay with that instead of trying to control the people around us by trying to control their moods and their feelings. That's not ours. So we have to change. We can change the story in those moments. And here's a process that you can use that can really help. First of all, you have to notice the story. What story am I telling myself right now? And maybe it is, they're so disrespectful, or they're so forgetful, and or maybe it's, I have to fix everything. I have to do everything around here. It's all up to me, or nobody cares about how I feel about it, or that my day is busy. All of those are stories. They all come from thoughts that we have. It doesn't take away from the truth of what's happening. It's just recognizing that this is the story that we're telling ourselves. And then it's okay to question that story. You know, do I really have to fix everything? Did my child do this to make me miserable? And do they always forget? Or are they just a kid that forgot? When I went through this with this parent, it was so amazing because we didn't even talk that much about the story she was telling. I just gave some different situations. I said, yeah, you know, why is she just expecting you to fix it? Just kind of dove into it with her. And then she started realizing, like, hey, we all got up late this morning, or, you know, all these things happen. And so, you know, this was why this child reacted this way, and this is why he probably forgot his shorts. And then she had some understanding. And from that place, she was able to make some different decisions and to consider that maybe I don't have to fix this. And once she was off the hook of I should or I have to, then she could make the choice based on what she wanted to do. She said, well, actually, I do want to just drop it by because I was kind of abrupt this morning. And so then I could drop it by and just let her know that I understand. Or I can, you know, drop these shorts by and I can let him know that that it's okay. I got you this time. And then we can come up with a plan of how we're going to manage mornings that are stressful a little bit better, what we can do to not forget things, instead of coming at it from this lecturing place of, do you know what that did to my day? Do you know how it made me feel? Because that just goes nowhere. It just makes us feel even worse. So we're rewriting it from they're doing this to me to it's happening in front of me. And we're writing, you know, everyone dumps everything on me, to people are asking for help, and I get it, and I get to choose. And this is a big piece, I think, especially when you're feeling overwhelmed with all the shoulds. You get to decide how you're going to deal with that situation, and make it on you. Your child did not make you have to go by the school to drop off his PE shorts. You chose that that's what you were going to do. And when you are making the choice, it's so much more powerful. You have to experience it. It's so crazy. Like, at first you're going to be so scared, right? That you're doing the wrong thing, or, you know, they're going to have their fit, or they're going to be sad, or they're going to be upset with you. But it's okay, because it lets people off the hook, but it lets us off the hook when we allow people to feel how they're going to feel about it. Everyone's crisis does not have to create a crisis for me. I get to choose how I'm going to respond. And we also get to look at it like sometimes people are just asking for help, or sometimes they're just living their life, or sometimes, it's nice to be needed. And I still get to choose what I'm going to do. So we practice this, with that mom, we practice it. So instead of storming into the car with a lecture, she was able to pause and be able to be like, okay, what lesson do I want to teach here? And do I have the time to do this? And am I going to do this today? Maybe we don't always do the things that we want to do, but we still get to choose, right? Like we think that, I have no choice. I have to go to work, or I have no choice. I have to do this. It's like, yes, you do, because you can choose, because you may choose between two hard things, two alternatives you don't like, to have money or not have money, or to have a job or not have money and not have a job, but you're still choosing. You get to choose. And I think that we need to stop thinking or telling ourselves that life is just happening to us and we don't have any choices, because real teaching doesn't happen with our kids, with ourselves, when we're resentful. And sometimes we're resentful at everyone around us because of the way that we are also choosing to live our lives. If you don't like what's happening in the dynamic, you are the only one that can change it for you. You can't change it. You can't make everybody else change to make the dynamic different. So that it's just such a valuable thing to really grab a hold of. It's clear. It keeps us connected to people. And instead of, being angry and resentful, we can problem solve with people. We can ask for help ourselves. We lower our really, especially our unmet expectations and our unspoken expectations, and it makes us clearer with what we do expect. So we're able to look at it and say, I don't have time to do that today. I am so sorry. I'm not sure what you're going to do, but I can't solve this for you today. Or it gives us a chance to talk to our child later and be able to say, you forgot your shorts today. So what's going to be our plan so that this doesn't happen? I know it's, new back to school and all these things, but what's going to be our plan? And I think that is so important now we're coming alongside our kids and, other people in our lives and looking at how we can be a support that isn't taking so much from us, right? It's like, I can help you in this way, but I can't help you in this way. So what is your plan to solve this? That's what really teaches us responsibility, and that's what teaches our kids how to, for them not to carry the weight of the world too, right? So when you stop making it personal, everything changes. You stop resenting your child, you model emotional regulation, you teach the lesson that you actually want to teach. You're not just stuffing it down, you're having those moments of actually helping them to develop that executive functioning skill. And is it going to happen overnight? No. Is it going to happen with one thing? But it's not going to happen at all with the lecture or our anger or our frustration, right? And what the best thing is that you are no longer exhausted from carrying all the shoulds and all the resentment, and you get to show up as a parent that you want to be, because ultimately that's in our power. And I've worked with a lot of people, and I feel like over and over we go over this, because I like to ask them, how do you want to show up in this situation? What kind of parent do you want to be? And that moves us from thinking, I want to be this kind of parent, but I want my kid to not be this kind of kid. I want a kid that doesn't forget things, or I want a kid that isn't throwing tantrums because I'm not going to let them have their phone when they want it, or whatever it is. And so we're trying to change them, but really this changes our perspective, and it allows us to show up in the way that we want to. So next time you feel that story kind of bubbling, like they're doing it to me and this is about me, or this is about them, like, coming after me, or they don't care about me, all of those things, like being able to kind of pause and ask yourself, is this about me or is this about their struggle? This mom came to the conclusion that her son had had a rough morning, actually, and that she found a way that she could support him and a way that they could talk about it later that wasn't putting the shoulds back on him. You shouldn't have done that because this is what happened to me because I had to take care of you. Instead, she owned her part of it and made the choice that she wanted to make so that she could show up how she wanted, and that allows for so much more freedom of movement. You get to rewrite the story. This is not personal. It's not against me. It's happening in front of me. That one shift is going to change everything. So if this resonated with you, share it with another parent who needs a reminder. And drop in the comments, what's the hardest story you catch yourself telling yourself? And maybe I can help you rewrite it together. What is the thing you're always thinking? Is it that they don't care? Is it that nobody listens to you? Whatever it is, let's consider where those thoughts are coming from and make that change.